Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in and tap in with the kid before I start building on the subject matter for the day. And what's the word with y'all, man? Let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know how y'all living. Y'all see the title of this stream, man. Y'all already know how I feel about this particular situation. So you already know this is going to be a good one. We about to go in. Y'all already know what it is. So I'm going to give y'all a chance to go ahead and tap in with the kid before we really start building, venting, getting things off the chest, all that good stuff, man. What's the word with y'all, man? How y'all living? How y'all feeling out here on this wonderful Tuesday? Wonderful Tuesday, man. We got to talk about not following the status quo when you go against the grain. Montel, peace, my brother, man. Everything gets good my way, man. How you living? How you feeling, man? We talking about going against the grain. Y'all see what's happening with Kyrie Irving. If not, I'm going to break down the basics of his situation. Or the cultivator of sports for sure. Definitely, not only are they trying to silence him, but they trying to make an example out of him. Like this is they trying to make an example out of him. They definitely trying to make an example out of Kyrie, man. They trying to make an example, say, all right, you don't want to abide by our rules and regulations. You don't want to get this jab. This is what happens to you. So they striving to make an example out of him. And what better person to make an example out of than somebody such as Kyrie Irving? Somebody such as a professional athlete. They striving to make an example out of him. Because y'all want to know what's crazy? Manny Montana, peace for sure. And I never really was the biggest Kyrie Irving fan as far as like his basketball skills. But now he about to become my favorite player overnight. He about to become my favorite player overnight. You know what I'm saying? Sharif and peace, what's happening? But y'all know what's crazy about this situation, man. So Kyrie is facing this backlash, man. They about to sit him down. He's not going to be able to play in the home games and all of that good stuff. But it's crazy because on the flip side, in the NFL, you got the white boy Cole Beasley, who's playing for Buffalo, and he's still out here balling. He's still out here playing this. They kind of swept his situation under the rug because y'all know he was anti-jab. Cole Beasley, the NFL player, they didn't kind of swept that under the rug. This Kyrie situation is they making it a lot bigger, obviously because of the name. Obviously because of the name that's attached to it, man. But Cole Beasley out here playing for Buffalo. Balling every Sunday. He out there every Sunday. But they striving to make an example out of Kyrie, man. They striving to make an example out of Kyrie. We know how it go. Real humble peace. What's the word? They striving to make an example out of him, and that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they like to do, man. Again, it goes back to how going against the grain, going against the status quo can impact your mental health. People don't understand a lot of the verbal abuse that people such as myself, and I'm pretty sure some of you all can relate to this. People don't understand the verbal abuse that comes with going against the grain, not being afraid to be different. When you're not afraid to be different, when you're not afraid to go against the grain, when you're not afraid of any of that, when you're not afraid to be yourself, man, you take a lot of verbal abuse. Because again, people don't understand that. People are jealous. People are envious of a person that is not afraid to go left when everybody is going right. So they overly criticize that person. I done been called ignorant. I done been called evil, wicked, dumb, stupid. I done been accused of brainwashing people. Like these are the type of insults that have been thrown my way simply because I stand for something that's not the norm. I stand for things that are not the norm. So when you stand for things that go against the status quo, man, you get a lot of backlash verbally. And sometimes that can become draining mentally. And it gets to the point where every time you open your mouth, when you go against the status quo, when literally every perspective that you possess, every belief that you possess goes against the status quo, it's like every time that you open your mouth and speak, it seems as if you are striving to convince people that you are not crazy. Because when you go against the status quo, when every perspective that you have is against the status quo, people assume that you are crazy. People think that you are crazy. Now, again, people such as myself, That's not a bad thing to me when everybody views me as crazy. I'm cool with it, but it can become draining mentally. It can become draining mentally. Like back in the day when I used to read books, sometimes I used to try to shield the type of book that I was reading from certain people because it just became mentally draining. Because a lot of people, once they would see the type of book that I was reading, then they automatically in judgment mode. They judging that book by its cover, and they judging me for wanting to read that book. So they taking things on face value instead of chopping it up with the kid to see what the book is about and why I'm interested in reading the book in the first place. So these are the type of things that you have to deal with when you are going against the status quo, when you're going against the grain. You got to deal with a lot of verbal abuse, man. You have to explain yourself a lot. Even when you don't even care what people think, you still end up explaining yourself, explaining your stance, because you striving to have conversations with individuals, and when your perspective is left and their perspective is right, you are striving to explain your perspective. And most of the time, the people that go against the grain, at one point in time, we were a part of the grain. So we understand the right perspective, but most people don't understand the left perspective. So we be having to go hard striving to explain ourselves, and that becomes very draining mentally. It's very complicated to do that a lot of times, man. Every time I say something, I have to explain it because the average person ain't gonna understand what it is that I'm talking about or how I can see something the way that I see it. So I'm always having to explain myself. Jason, peace, what's happening? Jonathan, I don't think he did either, but like I said, it ain't really no big deal. It's a big deal with Kyrie because he's overt with his expression in regards to why he is against it. Just peace, what's happening, Queen? Sweet tea, peace, what's the word? The cultivator of sports for sure. And then they really he really has a lack of support, man, because at the end of the day, especially like his teammates, most of the people in the league, they would rather him just get the jab and dribble. You know what I'm saying? They would rather him do that. They don't want to see him stand for something. They don't want to see him stand on his square and reject the jab and stay true to his principles. They would rather him conform, get the jab so that he can go, so that they can go on and win a championship, things along those lines. That's really what they concerned with. That's what they concerned about. They'd rather him just go ahead and conform, get the jab, join the team, so now we can win a championship. That's what they concerned with. That's what they concerned with. That's what they are. That's what they are more concerned with, man. Like, and it's crazy. But give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. And it's crazy, Jonathan. Like I said, Cole Beasley, the white wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, didn't receive or is not really receiving this much backlash. He received backlash when he was coming out speaking against it, but he was really out here speaking against it. And it's crazy because Buffalo is in New York. So it's just crazy. He out here balling every Sunday, and he's anti-jab, and I don't believe that he received the jab. And Buffalo is in New York, so he's out here balling every Sunday. That's kind of crazy to me. Kansu, peace. What's happening? And it's crazy. It's crazy, Kansu. That's what we would think, but they not. It don't appear to be that way. It don't appear to be our body, our choice, because they really grinding hard. They grinding hard. They even got mad at LeBron, and LeBron got the jab. But LeBron was like, I'm not about to go out here and try to convince everybody else to get it. They got mad at him for saying that. It's like, dude, he got the jab. Now y'all want him to be an advocate for it. No, he got it. He said, based off of his research, whatever research that may be, I still feel like they instilled the fear in him to get it. So he got it, and he told the world that he got it. And now y'all want him to push it. Why are y'all going so hard? I mean, we know the answer to that. It's a rhetorical question. But when he came out and said, man, I'm not about to really be out here putting pressure on people to get the jab. I got it based on my research, this, that, and the third. But I'm not about to be overly promoting it for other people to get it. They got mad at LeBron for that. They got mad at LeBron for that. He got the jab, and now they mad that he won't promote it. He won't convince other people to get it. He won't talk to Kyrie. That's what I'm saying. They too aggressive with it. They too aggressive with it, man. If most of the athletes have gotten it, then why why are y'all putting so much pressure on one man to get it? Why do that? Terenzo, peace, what's the word? Justin, peace, what's happening? They putting way too much pressure on people to get it. And it's ridiculous. It's like, man, if y'all got a large percentage of the population to get it and the numbers are still increasing and it's still spreading, what's the point? Why are y'all so adamant about getting everybody to get it? It's not making any type of sense, man. It's not making any type of sense. It's like we just striving to be left alone, but they won't leave us alone. Listen, I haven't been sick during this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been sick. I know I've been around it. I still haven't been sick. It's like I'm far from the problem. Please leave me alone. I'm not going out here getting other people sick. I'm not out here passing on some type of, like, I'm not doing that. I'm out here concerned my health. I'm striving to eat healthy. I'm striving to exercise. I'm striving to mind my business. I don't fool with people anyway, so I'm not up close and personal with a lot of people. So why can't y'all just leave us alone? They won't just leave us alone. Not at all. Not at all. They want to make us feel like we dumb. They want to make us feel like we ignorant, we careless, and all that type of nonsense, simply because we striving to mind our business and not get a jab, man. It's not making any type of sense, man. Justin, for sure, man. Like I said, they striving to make an example out of him. They striving to make a big time example. They already got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins had to go ahead and get it. The pressure got to him. Andrew Wiggins had to go ahead and get it. Kyrie got a little more pull due to his superstar status. Like, Kyrie can afford to kind of fight with him a little bit. Wiggins couldn't necessarily afford to do that. So Kyrie got a little more pull, but they put the pressure on Andrew Wiggins, and he had to mess around. He had to get it. He had to get it. Like, it's really not. It's not that serious, man. It's really not that serious. It's not that serious, man. Because if y'all would listen to, or if they would allow us to present our case without deleting and banning our videos, then people would have a better understanding of why we have the stance and perspective that we do. Now you can't even really speak out against it because you're liable to get deleted and banned from all of your social media platforms. So a lot of people are automatically assuming that we are ignorant because we're not able to intelligently present our case in regards to why we are against the jab in the first place, because they're going to delete our video or delete the post. So if you're not allowing people that are against the jab to present their case, then it's like, what do you think people are going to assume? They're not able to get the other side. They're not able to get your reasoning. So they're going to automatically think that you're just dumb because they're not allowing us to present our case. And that's the problem. We can't get on a platform and present our case, especially since we don't own it. Then when we do, they just delete it and they silence it and they ban it. They get rid of the channel, all of that. So that's how they doing us. That's how they doing us, man. We can't even explain ourselves. If I strive to make a simple video explaining my stance and put that in the title, they're going to ban, they're going to remove it, and I'm going to get a second strike. And all I'm doing is striving to explain my stance on it, why I'm against it. That should be fair game. That should be all good, but it's not. It's not. Again, going against the status quo can be stressful. Going against the status quo can bring on depression. It can have you on the brink of insanity. Because like I said, you are literally striving to convince the world that, listen, I'm not crazy, but possibly you all are. You know, that's what you literally striving to convince the world. You're trying to convince that to the world, like, listen, I'm not crazy, but you all are. That's what you striving to do, man. You are literally striving to get people to realize how crazy they are sounding, or how crazy they are looking, how crazy they are moving. And that is almost impossible. But again, when you go against the grain and the status quo, you are an enigma. You are an intriguing figure. So a lot of times you find yourself in conversations explaining your stance. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And that's what I mean by striving to convince people that you are not crazy, but they are. And what do I mean by that? I'm not even saying that how I'm living is right and exactly how y'all living is wrong. It's just the criticism for some of the decisions and perspectives that we possess and the backlash we receive for making such moves and having such perspectives. That's when you're trying to get people to realize how crazy it is to be upset with somebody for saying, don't get a jab, but focus on your holistic health. Focus on alternative methods. So eat better, exercise, fast, meditate, all that type of good stuff. So when we telling somebody to do that type of stuff or do those type of things, and you call me ignorant and careless, it doesn't make any sense. That sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. And that's what you striving to convince people. Like you striving to convince people that, hey, I'm simply telling y'all to eat your fruits and veggies, man. Fast, exercise, stretch, meditate, get the proper amount of sleep, hydration, drink your water. Like I'm telling you to do those things, have a positive mindset. Again, it's holistic healing. I'm not telling you to do one thing. That's what the jab is. The jab is encouraging you to do one thing, and then there you go. I'm encouraging you to make a whole lifestyle shift. So, how is that crazy? How is that ignorant? How is that stupid? So, you got to try to convince somebody that, listen, that's normal. These are things that you should be doing anyway. Like, these are normal things that you should be doing anyway, but yet you calling me ignorant for saying that. This is what I'm talking about. Humanity is crazy. The people that are out here talking about we not for the jab, all we are literally telling you to do is focus on your health and everything will be a-okay. It will be better. But nobody wants to listen. We telling you lay off the fast food. Stop eating those toxic foods. Lay off the meat for a minute. They about to force. It's almost like they about to force y'all off the meat anyway because they talking about a food shortage. And you already know the food that we short on. The only food that we consume in abundance is meat and dairy. You know what I'm saying? And y'all see the prices of the food is skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? So this is all by design. This is all by design. And I don't know if you all did the knowledge, but a few years ago, they approved um boosting the minimum wage. But that's gonna have to happen gradually over time. What people don't understand. That's why I don't really care about them boosting the minimum wage because all they gonna do is they gonna neutralize it. So yeah, they gonna pay people more, but they gonna increase the prices of everything else. The groceries gonna go up. The price of gas will go up. Cost of living is going to go up. It's inflation. So yeah, you may have the minimum wage may have increased by $4, but the price of everything else went up by $4 as well. So you essentially making the same that you was making when the minimum wage was $4 less. That's the trick knowledge that they play on us. So yeah, they paying you more, but man, everything else that went up, so it canceled it out. You want the minimum wage to go up, but you want the prices to remain the same, but that's not how it's going to work. That's how it goes. Like literally, that's how it goes. Justin, for sure. Literally, when you go against the status quo, you are literally going against millions. It's almost, man, it's frightening. Like it's not frightening because I don't really fear these folks. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy the mentality that these people possess, man. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Literally, I feel like I think every perspective that I possess when it comes to the important matters in life, I literally have a perspective that most people around me do not agree with. Literally, when it comes to the important aspects of life, what we deem important, like politics, religion, health, all that type of stuff, I literally do not have the popular perspective. My perspective is very unpopular amongst the people that I associate with when it comes to those topics, when it comes to government, when it comes to law, politics, religion, media, entertainment, all of that. I always have a different perspective, man, and that is literally draining. So I can understand Kyrie because I got a little spotlight. I can understand having that type of mentality when you got millions watching you and following you. Man, it's draining. It's draining. The cultivator of sports, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. And see, listen, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly when they had gave me my first strike on YouTube. That was literally around the time I forgot the little dude name. But one of the when they was showing the dude, little young rapper, that got shot and killed on live. They was allowing that video to circulate. Man, it's a lot of videos on YouTube where people are getting gunned down live on YouTube, like right on YouTube. There are videos right now. I could pick up a personal video. This is somebody that I know that got personally shot and killed. Literally. Somebody I went to high school with got shot and killed, and the video is still on YouTube. That video can remain on YouTube, but when I talked about the jab, I got put in YouTube jail for 7 days. But we can show people getting gunned down, and that video remains on YouTube. That video remains on YouTube. I talk about holistic health and things along those lines, and they say medical misinformation and things like that. Well, what's happening when you showing somebody get gunned down on YouTube? Like, what's happening to that? All the toxic information, all the toxic gossip that they allow to surface and remain on social media. But when somebody is out here striving to just inform the people, that person gets locked up, put in YouTube jail. 7 days, they get a strike, and they got 2 more strikes before they permanently banned. But if I came in here and just talk bad about my people 24/7, I'd be flourishing. Like my channel would be million people deep, million subscribers deep. Jonathan, I have not tapped into that special yet. Like I said, I'm waiting for it to die down. I'm gonna probably watch it or tap into it this weekend. Then I will have an opinion on it. But I didn't been seeing the so-called cancel culture all over it, so I already know what it's about to be about. Michael Peace, what's happening? Sharif, man, for sure. For sure. It's crazy. Like I said, man, people don't understand what's really happening out here, man. Again, they raised the minimum wage. It's inflation. They already implementing the inflation, man. You just go, you buy your food. Go buy your food. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, I'll be watching some things that's very interesting out here in regards to just how they manipulate the world. Man, I saw something. Listen, man, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a jewel on y'all, man. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see it. Let me see if I can find let me see if I can find this, man. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to find this little article, man. It's just crazy the type of things they be doing when we not paying attention. Like little small things. What I'm about to show y'all is small, but like it's really gonna affect us. It's just crazy the way they be altering with everything, man. I'm trying to find it, man. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here we go. It's an art. Y'all can look this up. And I watched a little YouTube video on it. I watched a few of them on it. I read some articles. But now they say, look, you look it up. Scientists want to shorten a minute to 59 seconds. Just listen to what I said. This may seem like it's something that's small, but look at the type of power that they have. Scientists want to shorten the minute to 59 seconds. So they essentially are going to get rid of the minute. And you may think that that's insignificant, but that adds up, and that's displaying the power. They literally had the power to say there is no such thing as a minute anymore. It's now 59 seconds. And they working on that. They working on that. And that can have some long-term ramifications. Hence why, and this has happened. I know I wasn't the only one that felt like time has accelerated. These are like little stuff like this. This is why it seems like time be moving faster than what it really should be, or what it was like 5 or 10 years ago, because they altering with time. They altering time. They literally are thinking about shortening the minute to 59 seconds. So when you walking around, you feeling like, man, time seems like it's moving faster than it was 10 years ago, because they tampering with time. Now we know time, the way we look at it, or the way we are ran by, is a little man-made construct and whatnot. So we know that much. But again, it can cause life to feel like it's moving way faster than it really is, because they altering it. They tampering with it. But they say scientists want to shorten the minute to 59 seconds. Y'all can look that up. That's some homework for y'all. They tampering with the minute. We can't even have a minute anymore. It can't even be a full minute. Now it's just 59 seconds. Why are you tampering with that? What is the point? Why even do that? Why even do that? You're messing with time. But again, that seems insignificant to us right now, but it's going to have long-term ramifications. And these are the type of things that they are doing when they keeping us distracted and focused on all the nonsense. They shortening time. See, that's the type of stuff. See, when people be like, this is a distraction. A lot of people say a distraction from what? It's a distraction from stuff like that. So they throw all this nonsense at us, and then a whole while behind the scenes, they shortening the time. They shortening the minute. They taking away the minute and making it 59 seconds. So next thing you know, you're going to look up and there's going to be no such thing as a minute. And you're going to be like, when did they do that? When we was out here debating about mindless things, all those distractions that they threw at us. That's when they made the minute 59 seconds. A lot of times you look up and you wake up and it's like things have changed overnight. It's like because we was distracted. They threw all these distractions at us, and then behind the scenes they was constructing things like this, and then you wake up and then boom, there it go. There it is. So people, like, that's what I'm saying. But when you start talking about these type of things, man, again, you get viewed as crazy. You just get viewed as crazy, man. Which crazy to me is cool. I feel like everybody is crazy. There ain't nothing wrong with being crazy. I don't feel like crazy is something that's negative or positive. You know what I'm saying? Crazy is cool to me. When you call me crazy, you basically just calling me different. You basically just calling me fearless, because I'm not afraid to stand for something. Like, that's literally what you are. You are calling me crazy, and that's what you mean. That's literally what you mean. When somebody calls me crazy, they are literally saying, oh, this dude is fearless. This dude ain't afraid to be different. He's unique. He ain't afraid to speak his mind and stand on what he's saying. Oh, Kansu for sure. It's all, man, it's all type of people. It's all type of people dying that receive booster joints. Like, it's all type of people that's going down, man. Because again, at the end of the day, what people don't realize, and this is why I said it's just best to focus on your overall health. At the end of the day, you could get all these jabs, you can do all this, but if your overall health is trash, which again, if you focus on the top killers of our people, most of those revolve around environmental factors, and lifestyle decisions, lifestyle choices that we make. Again, heart disease, all these cancers, diabetes, you know what I'm saying, hypertension, high blood pressure, things like, even like asthma, you know what I'm saying, like respiratory, like asthma and bronchitis, things like that. Like, all of those revolve around lifestyle choices, lifestyle factors, environmental factors. So if you're not changing your lifestyle, like, we still out here dying of all these other conditions. So what's really the point? What's really the point? We out here dying of all these other conditions, and y'all trying to force people to get a jab, but y'all not encouraging them to clean up their health. So they get the jab, boom, and then they still finna die of a heart attack a week later because they still eating McDonald's, they still eating White Castles, they still eating all this fast food. So what's the point? What is the point? They still finna suffer from these cancers. Can't, like diabetes. Again, like I said, diabetes is the new common cold. You 1 in 3 people that you meet, they either gonna be diabetic already or pre-diabetic. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be focusing on how can we reverse those conditions? How can we reverse those ailments? Those ailments and conditions been plaguing us a lot more than anything else. Heart disease, which again, a lot of this stuff is simple to reverse. I got this book right here called Goodbye Diabetes. Get this book. I mean, you can't see it, it's a glare, but Goodbye Diabetes. This book dropping jewels. I'm just finishing it up. Book dropping all type of jewels. But if I started to present these jewels that's in this book to the average person, they're gonna be like, dude, crazy. Dude, crazy. And I'm gonna look up something real quick. Give me another second here, man. Give me another second. Give me another second. Let me see. Let me see if I can find something here. 1 second. Listen to this. And this book made this point in Goodbye Diabetes. I'm gonna just show y'all how they do the trick knowledge with us. I'm gonna show y'all how they just set us up for failure. How they just set us up for suffering and failure. I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. Because in this book, he was like, when you look up diabetes, when you Google search diabetes, like especially type 2, they instantly about to tell you that there is no cure for it. Instantly. So when you look it up, y'all know the CDC is everybody's best friend. So when you go to the CDC, here you go, right here at the end. It's going to say there isn't a cure yet for diabetes, but losing weight, eating healthy food, and being active can really help. Taking medicine as needed, getting diabetes self-management education and support, and keeping healthcare appointments can also reduce the impact of diabetes on your life. Do y'all know how non-factual that is? I literally got books by physicians that have treated diabetic patients and their diabetes was gone. They reversed the symptoms. So when they sit here, when you look up these most trusted sites, so if you was a person suffering from diabetes and you was brainwashed by the system and you looked up diabetes type 2 and you pulled up the CDC website because you trust the CDC because you brainwashed, they instantly automatically telling you that there is no hope for you. And that's a lie. But you about to eat that food, you about to digest that food, you about to feel like you done, you doomed. You set up for failure, you set up for suffering because they ain't told you that there isn't a cure yet for diabetes. Man, that is a lie. That is a lie. I mean, this book right here is called, you see, it's a doctor, that doctor, Dr. Wes Youngberg wrote this book. It is a doctor that wrote this book. He's treated people with diabetes. And I'm telling you, right here in the book, they are telling you people that came to him with type 1, type 2 diabetes, he has treated them. He has changed the way that they eat, made them exercise. It's a lot of different things in this book. I'm not even gonna get into detail about it or too in depth about it, but it's certain changes that they made in their lifestyles, and then those symptoms, everything that came with diabetes was gone. Everything that came with diabetes, all the symptoms, the high blood sugar levels, all that type of stuff gone. High blood pressure. Some of them that were obese, all that type of stuff, it left, it was gone. So the symptoms that come with the diabetes, all of those symptoms were gone. So how can that not be reversed? How can it not be reversed? How can you not reverse the diabetes when you have people that can literally change their lifestyle and all the symptoms, everything that comes with diabetes, those symptoms are now gone. They don't exist anymore. That is something being reversed. But if you look it up, though, they're going to tell you that there is no cure for it. That's the world we live in. So when I come out and say, no, it's a cure for type 2 diabetes, somebody finna pull up their phone, they finna pull up all of these they finna Google it, and they finna say, look, see, they say right here, CDC say there is no cure for diabetes. So now I got to convince this person that, hey, not everything that you see on Google, not everything that comes up on Google is right and exact. But if you Google type 2 diabetes on that first page, they're not going to give you any hope. They're not going to give you any hope. They literally gonna tell you that it's not curable. It can't be reversed. You got to manage it. That's what they're gonna tell you. And they wonder why people continue to suffer. Because again, if I get you to believe that there is no hope, and you buy into that, like, yeah, you ain't gonna reverse it. You bought into the, like, I literally gave you no hope. Literally told you there is no cure for it. You can only manage it. You can only manage it by changing the way that you eat, exercising, and taking the medication. You can only manage it. Just imagine if they told you can reverse it. Like, people don't, at that point, those people no longer care to make lifestyle choices. They're going to take the medication. Because if you tell them that, yeah, you can eat right and exercise, that will only manage your diabetes. Only manage it. That is it. Manage it. It won't reverse it. It just manage it. Like, them people gonna be like, man, just give me the medication, man. So just give me the medication. I just get the medication. I ain't about to change the way that if it won't reverse it, if it'll just manage it and I still got it, that person ain't gonna be inspired to make any real drastic changes. They're gonna say, give me the medication. But if you told them, if you change the way that you eat and exercise and do a bunch of other things that was mentioned in this book and the other books that I have on diabetes, then they can reverse it. There you go. Now you gave the people hope, because there literally is hope, because there are people that have done it, but they suppress that type of information on this good old World Wide Web. They suppress that information. They don't want people seeing that information. Again, that's why I say you cannot all the way trust Google. You can't all the way trust Google. You can't all the way do it. Oh yeah, yeah, Dizzy, you got it in 59 seconds. That's what we on. In 59 seconds, we can no longer say, like I said, they altering time. We can no longer say, I'll be there in a minute. Nah, I'm gonna be there in 59 seconds. That's what it's that's literally like when you wake up one day and they tell you there's no such thing as a minute, it's now 59 seconds. Y'all heard it here first. Dizzy, man, yeah, Dizzy, this book could be perfect for you, man. This book could be perfect for you. Like, this is one of the best books. Honestly, I read a few books on diabetes. This Goodbye Diabetes book is one of the best ones, man. Literally, one of the best ones. Like, it's real easy to digest the information. It's real easy, man. Just some real good tips and tools, man. I would recommend this book for anybody. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking to just improve your health in general, this book is still good, man. But I be striving to understand a lot of these conditions, man. Because again, you know what I'm saying? I train a lot of people and I just want to give people the proper advice in regards to what to eat, how to move, what to do, this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to stay educated on a lot of these ailments and whatnot from like a physical standpoint and like from what you should consume and the type of lifestyle that you should be embracing when you have these conditions. Because like I said, most people that I come across, high blood pressure, diabetes, all that type of stuff, they have them. They on some type of medication. You hard pressed to run into somebody that ain't on some type of medication. Slay, you say you gotta watch how you move. You got asthma and sickle cell. Yeah, now that's the asthma. That I can relate to asthma because I suffered from that as a youngin, which they wanted to say I grew out of it. And that's when I started studying and found the link between asthma and like dairy products. Once I removed the dairy, like my breathing became that much better. Cleared all of that up, man. But I can't fool with the dairy products like that, man, because that clogs up everything real quick. And I start having like real bad breathing problems once I consume the dairy. Shaquille, yep, that's the same book. Now I'm done with it. So I posted the book earlier when I was starting it. Now I'm done with it. And I did consume the information in this book, and it is in alignment with the other books that I've read on diabetes. So now it's like I got a good understanding of like just kind of how to approach diabetes, especially type 2. Type 1 can be a little more complicated, but it's still reversible. You still have cases where it has been reversed, where people that got off the medication, where they all they levels, everything checked out good. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's hope. There is hope. It's always hope. No matter what condition that you are struggling with and facing, there's always hope. Literally, it's always hope, man. That's the first part of the process. You got to understand that there is hope. Got to understand that. Stay ready for sure. Fasting it's a lot of different things too, though. But fasting is one of them. It's a lot of different things too, though, because it's always a combination of things when it comes to reversing the condition. It's always a combination of things. So fasting, along with once you do eat, then again you want to eat the foods that people call it the glycemic index. People say the glycemic load. So you want to eat foods again that don't cause your sugar levels to just skyrocket instantly. So again, you want to eat a lot of greens. So even when you are consuming foods, you want to eat primarily greens and things like lentils and beans and things along those lines. And then another tip that I got from the book is just a few things, man. Some things I already knew, but it's like when you do eat, after you eat, it's important. Like if you're a person that has diabetes already, something important to do after you eat every meal to like walk or exercise for like 15 to 20 minutes. That'll help stabilize your blood sugar levels. Like that's important. So after every meal, every time you consume some food, it's important for the person with diabetes to move. Like go for a walk for about 15 to 20 minutes. Never consume a meal and then just sit right down or lay down. Like every meal, every meal. A lot of people think that only applies to like the evening, but it's called the post meal exercise or whatever. So after you consume every meal, like to stabilize your blood sugar levels, man, like go for a walk, like a 15-20 minute walk, or just move 15 to 20 minutes, a light exercise after you consume some food. And they was talking about, it was a lot of supplements that was mentioned that help with diabetes, and then just like the importance of vitamin D, making sure. And there was some things, man, just doing the knowledge to vitamin D and how deficient people are in vitamin D, and some things that wasn't taken into account, because a lot of times we know that we can get vitamin D from the sun, But in order for us to do that, we already understand that we are detached from our natural way of living. So a lot of times when we go out in the sun, for one, you got to go outside at the perfect time of the day. You got to go outside the hottest time of the day to really get that proper vitamin D that you need. And then when you go outside at like the hottest time from like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., it's like the peak time to go outside to activate that vitamin D. Then on top of that, you got to have a lot of your skin showing. You got to have a lot of your skin showing to really activate that vitamin D. Now, our people back in the day, our ancestors back in the day, this is how they was living. They was always outside and they always had the skin exposed to the sun. So that's why we wasn't suffering with the vitamin D deficiency back in the day, because we was in tune with nature and we was always outside. And when we was outside, we had our skin showing. Now that's not the case. When we go outside, we don't always have the skin out. Then on top of that, something that you must consider, that you must also consider too, when you go outside and you have your skin exposed and you activate the vitamin D, if you go right home and you take a shower, you are washing off that vitamin D. People don't know that. People do not know that. You are washing off that vitamin D. So again, most people need to supplement vitamin D, even if you are getting a proper amount of sunlight. Even if you're getting the proper amount of sunlight, because for the most part, like I said, when people do go outside, it ain't at the right time of the day, because a lot of us are working during those times. And then when we go out, we ain't almost naked out there. You know what I'm saying? So we covered up and it's only portions of our skin that's showing. Then a lot of times we go outside, we don't want to smell like outside. So we go take a shower and you didn't wash that vitamin D right off. So most people are more than likely vitamin D deficient. These are things that they don't teach us. These are things that they don't want us to know. These are things they don't want us to know. And then they don't want you to know the link between vitamin D and your immune system, which again, they were banning those type of articles when people were linking vitamin D with the immune system, your immune system and things along those lines. They was banning those type of videos. It's a big link there. Big link, man. Big link. Big link. But they're getting deleted. They say, oh no, that's not scientific. It's not science. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And vitamin D is very important for a person struggling with diabetes. But again, like I said, I ain't finna get too deep off in the trenches, man. I'm gonna do another presentation on that, man, because it get real in the field, man. I learned a lot about diabetes, and it's crazy. It's crazy type of things they don't teach, like real simple stuff. Percy, peace. Appreciate the donation. Angelic, peace. What's happening? You say, will you ever in the future do a video on divestment? It's a growing trend of black women divesting from black men. Oh, hey, listen, like I said, when somebody brought up the situation, what was that, yesterday when I was streaming, talking about aborting black babies, or the black male babies, like young black boys, aborting. This is one of those topics that, like I said, I will go in on, but I could definitely do a video on that. And I don't even want to, it's a growing trend, but it's only a growing trend because they want us to see it. See, they not going to advertise and they not going to display the black women that's not striving to divest from black men. They not going to display that. There's plenty of sisters that's not embracing that philosophy and that ideology. They just won't display them. They won't promote them. They want us to see the ones that are talking bad about black men by design, so we can be at odds with one another. So they won't display that. So the only reason that it appears to be a growing trend is because they putting it in our faces intentionally. So we got to know and we got to understand that first and foremost. They throwing it in our faces intentionally. It's all influence. It's persuasion. So see, and it's repetition. So if you got black people, then you got black women, and we always on social media, and you want to get a certain idea to resonate with them, is repetition. We're going to allow them to see a certain type of content repeatedly. So if you a black woman and you just always online and you just keep seeing videos about black men trash, abort your young black boys, don't have a black male baby, abort them, abort the black male baby, abort the young black boy, black men are trash. If you keep seeing that consistently, then eventually it's almost like that song that's trash that's playing on the radio repeatedly. It's gonna get stuck in your head. It's gonna become catchy. So eventually you gonna get programmed. That's what they doing. That's why it appears to be a growing trend. They programming a lot of black women to be that way, to view it that way. So it's programming, it's repetition. They control what we see on the media. You look up on Facebook, all of a sudden you seeing all things about black men trash, black man this, that, and the third. That's by design. That's by design. A sister may have that perspective right now and don't even understand how she reached that conclusion because she was programmed and influenced to have that perspective. People don't understand how deep the programming really is. People don't understand it. The program is really real in the field, man. The programming is really real. Lindell, peace, what's happening? You say they're giving children 511 the jab. Certain kids are allergic and immune to a lot of different things. So how do they really know the jab is safe or won't kill them? Oh, they already know. They know who the jab will and won't kill. Like they already know. And a lot of times, like somebody, a good friend of mine, a good friend of mine said something along the lines of a lot of people that got the jab thus far and they turned out fine. I said, bro, the jab, the effects of the jab are not really short term and like instant. Some people will have instant reactions to them, but for the most part, a jab is something that will affect you later down the line. So the people that got the jab and think that they are fine, like 10 years from now, they're gonna start having certain complications and they ain't gonna be able to pinpoint where them complications came from. It's almost like when somebody say, man, all these people that got the jab and everybody is fine. That don't even make any. That's almost like saying, since so many people are walking around, that we are a healthy country. Like, man, we are one of the sickest countries, but you got a lot of people walking around as if they are a-okay and they don't have no problems. So no, people are not fine simply because they didn't display an instant reaction to something. Just like just because you didn't display an instant reaction to that McDonald's burger, don't mean the McDonald's burger is healthy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't even make any sense for people to associate not having an instant reaction to the jab as something that's being good. That's equivalent to me saying, oh, well, since I ain't have an instant reaction to this McDonald's burger is cool. I ate the McDonald's burger, ain't nothing happened to me. So it ain't damaging my heart. It ain't damaging my internal organs. Like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Just because you didn't have an instant reaction, that don't really mean much. So that's what a lot of people are saying, man. But it's more so about the long-term damage that'll be caused. The long-term damage is what we need to be focused on. It's the long-term effects. So again, when the people that, and I don't like to wish this on nobody, but I know how this type of stuff goes. I had a mercury filling, and they don't even do those anymore, yo. I had the mercury filling when it was not outlawed, when they did not ban them joints. So I got one of those joints, yo. And we all know the damage. We all know the damage that mercury can cause. So I know I'm impacted. I know I'm affected from that. I had the whole silver mercury filling, man, because I had a cavity way back in the day. They put their mercury filling, the silver cap in my mouth, and that causes all type of brain damage, all type of brain damage. And I was walking around with this filling filled with mercury for years. So it ain't no telling how damaged my brain is because of that mercury. So I'm like, I had to cleanse myself once I started to get the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Spirulina, chlorella, things like that, had to detox and cleanse yourself and remove the mercury from the system. But it's like when I was young and I had them, I didn't know that was dangerous. So I'm walking around with this feeling filled with mercury, and it's causing all type of brain damage long term. So now, like when I spaz out and have a temper issue, it's like I can't pinpoint it. It's like it's caused from that mercury. Caused from that mercury that I got way back in the day when I was like 12, when I was like 10, 11. So that's what's going to happen with the people that get the jab. It's like 10 years later, you're going to have an episode and you were like, Dad, man, why did I do that? Complications, man. Long-term complications from that jab, man, because that's what it does. Long-term. So Renzo, my brother, appreciate that donation. Angelic, peace. Be easy out here. Appreciate you tapping in. You say they can't remove black from coal without destroying the diamond. Facts, 100%. Right and exact. let alone get rid of the words black and man from thought. Oh yeah, they can try as hard as they want to, but they cannot. They will never succeed. They will never succeed. But they are trying their hardest. They are trying their hardest. Percy, for sure, you say women are having menstrual problems now because of it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But yeah, and to that first point you made, man, the first point, like divestment, like this the type of stuff I'm talking about. When we start pushing black love and just healthy relationships amongst black men and black women, like again, that's another taboo. It's like they want to try to suppress that type of energy. Like, and that's positive. That's how they don't want to see that positivity. They'll rather see us at odds with one another, arguing and cursing one another out. Nothing will happen to those videos. Nothing will happen to a person that's out here talking bad about a black woman. Like nothing will happen to a black woman that's out here talking bad about black men. Like I said, their platforms will excel. Their platforms will like skyrocket to the top of the algorithm. That's all you will see in the algorithm. If you want to hit the algorithm, promote sex, promote any form of gossip, and then promote the black family destruction, like promote negativity amongst black men and black women. If you want to enter the algorithm as a content creator, promote those things, talk about those things, you will enter the algorithms instantly. You will enter the algorithms instantly. They will love you. They will love you. Literally, that's what you want to do. Enter the algorithm. Talk about those things. Talk about those things. I guarantee you, you will enter the algorithms immediately. Enter the algorithms immediately, man. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've literally seen people go from like 100, 200 subscribers to like almost 1,000 overnight, and they made a video about something that was just toxic, man. Because that's the type of stuff that we gonna gravitate towards, man. I seen that, man. I seen it happen. I seen somebody go from barely known to like all of a sudden overnight, boom, and it's like it was just some toxic energy, man. And something just happened recently. This was a situation that happened recently, and some of y'all know the situation, but I ain't about to name call. But some of y'all know the situation. It's just like boom out of nowhere, skyrocketing because it is toxicity amongst black men and black women. So that's gonna get you to the top. That's gonna get people to fool with you. But if you speak in positivity, slow and steady. They don't want people to be positive out here. They don't want people to be empowered out here. They don't want that. They want to hear the destructive stories. They want to hear the toxic stories. They want to hear the gossip. They want to hear those things. And that's what gets you within the algorithms, man. Literally. That's literally what gets you in the algorithm. Consu for sure. And that's what people don't realize, man. They say, well, I'm good now. I got it. I'm good. Ain't nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to you yet. Like I said, I don't wish that on nobody. But again, long-term complications, man. Long-term, you always got to think long-term when we dealing with the jab, when we dealing with medication. Long-term, the long-term side effects. We got to always consider the long-term side effects, the long-term damage. Those are the things that we sweep under the rug. We don't think about. Then when they hit us, then we were like, dang, I've been feeling good all the way up to this point. I don't know how I had this stroke. I don't know how this happened to me. I don't know how I had this heart attack. You can't explain it. Can't explain it. Because they injected you with some poison and you never cleansed yourself of the poison. Never cleansed yourself of the poison. But like I said, man, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into the mix, man. That's why hats off to my brother Kyrie Irving, man, for just standing on his square. You know what I'm saying? Taking the pay cut. Like, he's not going to get paid because he's going to miss the home games. They still going to pay him for the road games. It's like, dude, really, he really banging on the system, man. He really fighting a good fight. I can respect that, man. He didn't conform. That's the type of stuff that I respect, man. Don't conform. Don't just get something because they putting that pressure on you to get it, man. If you got to sacrifice some millions, if you got to sacrifice some money, then so be it, man. So be it. So be it. Chrissy, you say, how can you stand so long, man? I'm always standing. Sitting down can mess you up. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down is bad for your health, man. So I'm always standing. I'm always moving and standing. Sitting down bad for your health. Sitting down for long periods of time is trash for your health. So if I know that I'm going to stream for an hour, I'm not about to sit down for that whole hour, man. That's bad for the health. I ain't trying to sit down for that long. I got to get up. I got to stand. So I'd rather stand. I'd rather stand at all times. Even when I worked at the banks, man, I used to stand. And people used to ask me about that when I worked at the banks, but I'm standing. Definitely a method behind the madness. I would prefer to stand over sit all day, every day. But yeah, man, again, like I was saying though, man, just my hats off to Kyrie, man. I definitely respect what he's doing. Hopefully he keeps fighting, standing for what he believes in, standing for what he knows. Because this ain't even belief. This is what we know. You know what I'm saying? We know that this is some nonsense. We know that this is poisonous. We know that this ain't good for us, that this wasn't designed for us. So it ain't belief, it's knowledge at this particular point. So shout out for that brother for standing up for the knowledge, man, because that's knowledge. That's something that we know. This ain't even about belief. This ain't none of that. This is something that we know. This is an actual fact. So shout out to that brother for standing up for that, man, and not bowing down to the system. Bowing down to the system, man. I always respect people that do that, man. You know, that's in my blood, man. So just to see it on that level, definitely can respect it, especially considering all the criticism that he get, man. The pressure is on him heavy. Like everybody coming at that kid, man. Everybody. Like when somebody, if you watch anything within the media and they talk about Kyrie Irving, they talking about him in a negative light. They talking bad about the homie. And I know I know word getting back to him. So I know that's draining on him mentally, man, but he's still standing on it. Like I said, when you going against the grain and the status quo, that backlash, man, that backlash that you receive, very, very, very crazy. Because you're going to receive a lot of it, man. It can drain you. It can really drain you. It can wipe you out mentally, man. So I applaud that brother. He got to know he got some people in his corner that support him. Like I say, I may go have to cop his shoe or something. You know what I'm saying? He got to know that he got people that's riding with him, riding for him, that's supporting his decision. You got to know and understand that, man, that he still got supporters, man. Because a lot of people, man, they just bashing the kid. They bashing the kid. You know how the white folks get when it comes to their towns, when it comes to sports, man. They want to see him put the jersey on, shut up and dribble. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see him take a stance on something like that. You need to shut up and dribble. You need to shut up and dribble. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes. It's out of your lane. You need to shut up and dribble. That's what they want. They want that man to shut up and dribble, and he ain't going out like that. He ain't trying to shut up. He ain't trying to dribble. He ain't going out like that at all. He ain't going out like that at all, man. Point blank, period, man. And I applaud that. I'm standing with the brother, man. Whatever I got to do, man. I need to reach out to the brother, man. See if we can get in contact with him, you know. Because hey, like I said, man, it's time for that brother to try to do his own thing and get all of us together, man. He got some power. He got the power to do that. He got the power to do that. Definitely got the power to do that, man, for sure. So I'm standing with the brother, man. Like I said, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm standing with him, man. I'm standing with him till the wheels fall off. Hopefully he don't conform, let me down, because that'll be a letdown. If he conform, then I had to retract everything that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully he ain't one of the ones like Nick Cannon, come out here, say something, then turn around and apologize. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like he gonna take that lane, man. I don't feel like he gonna go out like that. I don't feel like Kyrie finna come out here and conform and then apologize for what it is that he's standing on. I don't see him doing that. I could be totally wrong. But hopefully he don't do that. Then we got to come back and retract it and be like, that, man, dude, and sold us out. So hopefully he continue to stand on that square, man. He don't conform to this system, man. Because that's what I'm like. I'm riding with that type of energy. Please don't apologize, man. Don't do it. We need to stop standing for these things and then turn around and apologize. And it makes us look weak. We got to stop doing that. It makes us look terribly weak as black men, man. So we need a black man to just stand for something on that scale and not conform. So I'm really banking on Kyrie not conforming to these standards, man, to the rules and regulations, to the policy, and making the sacrifice, whatever the sacrifice entails, man. So I'm really banking on that. So hopefully he does not let me down, and I feel like he will not let me down. But y'all, with that being said, man, I wasn't even intending on streaming today, but I saw the news about Kyrie, and I thought I just wanted to get on here for about an hour, chop it up, and express my opinion on the subject matter, man. I'm gonna get back to these books, man. Get back to finishing up this book. Got another book that I'm gonna start up, then hit the gym, torture the clients. Y'all know how I do it, man. So I appreciate all the donations, appreciate the comments, appreciate y'all tapping in with me for the spontaneous live. I may not catch y'all tomorrow, possibly Thursday. If not Thursday, definitely Friday. So y'all enjoy the rest of this Tuesday. I'm out. Y'all be easy out here. Peace.